Hi, my name is John Hunt. I'm the Executive Director for Adult Community Learning at LaGuardia Community College in New York City in the borough of Queens. We're part of the City University of New York. So I'm here today in the Center for Immigrant Education and Training to talk about a few of our programs that we've done that are contextualized or integrated models for workforce development for English language learners. So part of the Center for Immigrant Education and Training is the New York City Welcome Back Center. And what we had been seeing for many years is that in our civics ESL classes and our family literacy ESL classes, we had quite a few professional immigrants from the healthcare field who were in just our regular ESL classes, and we wanted to find a way to serve those students. What unfortunately was happening is many of our students were going through our ESL levels, topping out on the Best Plus examination around NRS level 7, but they were not able to enter any kind of training programs after that. And especially our immigrant nurses were not able to become relicensed here in New York State because they still had some language barriers to deal with. And the certification exam was quite challenging, the NCLEX examination. So what we tried to do, and we've succeeded over the last 6 or 7 years of this, is to create our NIBEST program, which is modeled on the integrated basic education and skills training programs from Washington State. We've tweaked it a little bit to focus on English language learners who are doing non-credit programs and trying to get certification results. So the students in this program are English language learners. They're nurses in their home countries, but they've immigrated here generally on lottery visas, on family visas, and they've been working in lower paid jobs, generally at minimum wage, as cashiers, as home health aides, or some as nannies, so some completely out of the healthcare field. About 25% of our students in those programs were unemployed. So they were being tested during our intake. One of our priorities was really to provide access to a training program for students who are at the lower levels of proficiency, especially on the TABE examination, so their reading comprehension skills. And what we found is that we could target students who were at the 7th grade reading level and put them into programs with robust support for their ESL, and they would be able to succeed in their certification examinations. So normally what would happen is students who were going to training programs were being asked for a 10th grade reading on the TABE level, on the TABE examination, which was quite challenging for our students. So even though they might have been at an oral proficiency level of around NRS 6 or 7, they were still testing on the TABE at around the 7th grade level. So the students we put into the program were average to 7th grade level, and this was a team teaching model. So our NIBEST program really focuses on having an ESL teacher who's team teaching at least 50% of the time with our nursing faculty or technical trainers. So the ESL teacher is providing ESL support for the students during the training program. And then the content technical expert is providing the technical training that they need to pass the certification exams. So the results for this program have been really amazing. One of the problems that we've had in our training programs around LaGuardia is that it was difficult to retain all of the students who started on day 1 of the program to the end of the program. Students were having quite a bit of barriers and were dropping out of many of our programs. The NIBEST model also has an educational case management component. So because the students are doing a contextualized ESL curricula, they're very interested in the curricula. They have a goal that is to obtain certification and be able to find a job with a livable wage. But they were having many different barrier issues as well. So the educational case manager's job is to prepare the students to go back to the classroom and to be in the classroom. She also helps a lot with making sure that students have access to any benefits that they're eligible for to maintain their motivation throughout what are sometimes intensive training programs that often happen at night from about 6 o'clock until about 10 o'clock at night, sometimes 4 nights a week. So the educational case manager has really been instrumental in providing some job readiness skills, some support to negotiate any kind of barriers, and really to do some goal setting development for the students so that they're ready to pass their certification exams. They have a resume and interviewing skills to go to get a job. And we've also created a lot of partnerships with our Workforce One systems here so that when students finish our programs, that they have done programs that are for in-demand jobs in New York City, especially in the healthcare field, and that they have access to employers who are looking for folks to join those positions. So I wanted to emphasize that the nurses in our Welcome Back Center in these programs have averaged about 6 years in the United States as well. So for a variety of different reasons, they've been unable to get relicensed here in the United States during the 6 years that they've been here. And what research has told us is that if immigrant professionals don't get back into their field within about 6 or 7 years, that very often the probability of them getting field. So that seems to be really a tipping point where we want to make sure that their skills are not atrophying and that they get back into the field as soon as possible. So we're targeting those students who've been in New York City and unable to get relicensed. Part of the problem of getting that relicensed, getting back into their field, has been their English language levels, and that they were some of them were stuck in ESL levels that were not actually preparing them for in contextualized ways for their own fields in their own professionals. So we've provided that healthcare context to the ESL learning that they're doing. And then navigating the relicensing or the recredentialing process in many states has been a problem. So we help them to navigate that sometimes complex system of being able to get to qualify to take the board exams for nursing. So our results have been very positive in that our retention rates are about 98% now for these NIBEST programs. So the students who start on day one are really staying into the classroom because they're very motivated and because they have that support from the educational case manager. We've been able to double the national pass rates for the LPNs and RNs who are doing these programs. The NCLEX examination that's required for nurses is a very challenging exam. So the national pass rates are around 30% for the immigrant professionals who are foreign trained, and we've been able to double those numbers for our RNs, which is a pretty amazing result. And we are about 77% job placement at the moment, and these jobs are very well-paying jobs. So many of our nurses are making about $72,000 a year as a salary. So most of them started, when they started the program, they were generally making around minimum wage or around $12 an hour if they were employed. And after the program, they're going up to either $27 an hour, $31 an hour averages on the LPN and on the RN rates. So I would say what we have learned from this program is the importance of really looking at how we were doing intake and who we were not letting into programs to make sure that if we could lower the level of entry, especially on the TABE reading examination, and still have students succeed through our programs, that we really wanted to do that. We really wanted to lower down to at least the 7th grade reading level on the TABE and let students in at that level. We found that incorporating kind of a lot of good ESL methodology, pedagogy into our training classrooms, making the classrooms very interactive, very student-centered, that was really helpful for students to be able to succeed in the program and really absorb the material. We've developed this robust team teaching model. So having the basic skills ESL instructor work in tandem with the technical trainers, with our nursing faculty, has really been helpful. And then the role of the educational case manager has really been vital to keeping the students in the classroom and making sure that they're ready for success once they do get certified. And then finally, an important aspect has really been creating partnerships with our Workforce One centers, with our technical trainers, with our ESL teachers, and with many community-based organizations that also serve immigrants to make sure that they know about our programs and we have a robust outreach to the community. Thank you.